All right, there we go. Yeah, that's going good up on my end, and we're uh, all right. First, quick update on my end. I couldn't get the 360 I got to work because the controllers are a bit weird. So I ordered a direct connection cable to the Xbox so that instead of just doing it wirelessly, I'll just have a main line connection running in because I have 5 fucking controllers. I think I should be able to get at least one of them. Second, I have a PS4 controller now with a cable. Brand new. Just got it out of the box yesterday. Or the other day, rather. The cable showed up yesterday. As such, we're back on the backlog. Once we finish Half-Life 2 and I pull rank to play a very special game that I found called Anonymous Agony. It's back to Bloodborne. Yay. Hearing voices again. Get. Where is it coming from? Okay, I think it stopped. Well, that was weird. Oh, hey, I broke 5,000 views on Twitch. That's cool. It's my phone. That's where I'm hearing it. Okay. Cool. So, looks like everything's sorted out. To quote the late, great YouTuber, President Keemstar. No, that's not foreshadowing. I will get to hunt down the Freeman. I get to hunt down the Freeman. But, let's get right into the news. Our first story today. Thief steals Bentley from inside meat market warehouse. Drives it to another burglary, according to police. From Doral, Florida. Surveillance videos from a nearby business show that what police say is a stolen Bentley driving away from a meat market parking lot in Doral just after 6 a.m. last week, followed by an SUV. Miami-Dade police said it was Leonard L. Sanchez, Leonard, 31 of Miami, behind the wheel of the luxury city. He broke in and stole the car, which was stored inside the meat market warehouse. Then, according to the police, he set fire to the second floor office in order to damage the closed-circuit television, and digital video recorder to destroy the evidence. All right, so right off the bat, this guy's smarter than most more. He knew how to cover his tracks. So I'm gonna assume that he already has a criminal history, those experience. Help him know what to do and what not to do when breaking the law. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue responded to a fire in the rear of Meat Town at 10400 Northwest 33rd Street, Suite 120, Doral, on Wednesday, October 27th at 6:23 a.m., where firefighters found the rear bay doors of the business open and smoke billowing out. Police said that Sanchez had broken into the business. Parked inside the meat warehouse was a 2010 Bentley Continental that belonged to the owner's daughter. The owner of Meat Town Really? We're calling it Meat Town? Told police the keys to the car were a Bentley chain on top of a table in the warehouse office on the first floor, according to the rest. Investigators said Sanchez tried to burglarize another Doral business a few days later and was in the stolen car. When police caught up with Sanchez, he told the police it was his car because he, quote-unquote, had the keys. Too late to rescind my prior statement about this man being an idiot, or this man being surprisingly competent at his job. Because he's clearly not. Police said a laptop with a Meat Town sticker affixed to it was in the trunk and tools discovered inside the car. Police. There was also a DVR in the rear driver's seat of the vehicle, which investigators said was consistent with property stolen from the Meat Town office. Sanchez faces charges of arson, burglary, grand theft, tampering with physical evidence. He was arrested and transported to Turner Guilford Night Correctional. Like, buckshot? Oh. That's a shame. Let's see if the video's any good.
Now the video you'll only see on the one and only.
I have gummy worms.
Bentley being driven away from a market in Doral shortly after the market was set on fire. The thief apparently attempted to hide the evidence.
But police say he didn't get very far. Local 10 News reporter Janine Stanwood is live with the exclusive.
Okay, so
Janine.
Hold on. Oh, you can see the subtitles. That's weird. Hold on. I thought it didn't fit, but it looks like it's just being cut off at the bottom, so fix that. Weird.
This was a bizarre and brazen burglary. The owner of this meat shop said
Braised.
that crook first pried open one of those bay doors to get inside.
Also, hi, Eddie.
And then allegedly stole his daughter's Bentley that she was keeping here while she was out. Surveillance video shows what police believe.
Okay, so the daughter, I'm guessing, was on vacation or something. Which answers my question of who the fuck stores a Bentley in a goddamn meat warehouse? That was just bugging me. But if she's, like, out of town, then yeah, stashing inside a locked building, actually.
Is a stolen Bentley driving away from this parking lot in Doral just after 6 a.m. last week, followed by an SUV.
Mr. Sanchez, you have 2 cases.
Miami-Dade officers say the thief is this man, Leonold Sanchez.
Hey, points. He's wearing a mask. Points. Now the question is, was he wearing that when he was arrested, or did the cops give it to him?
Who not only got away in this luxury sedan, which was being stored in a meat market in Doral, but then set fire to the DVR in the market's office to hide the evidence. This is the damage, and this is what...
That's a good chair. That thing looks incredibly flammable, but it's still in one piece.
What's left of that DVR. The owner says the crook first tried to break into this van that's parked outside. In fact, you can see right here by the passenger door all of the damage.
Probably a crowbar.
The owner of Meat Town tells us his bay doors were then pried open. So the Bentley keys were in the office. Yeah. And the crook figured out where the Bentley's keys were being stored in the office before setting the blaze.
I mean, I feel like he went up there to set the fire first and then happened to notice the keys on the desk in the same room, but that might just be that's just my opinion as a former criminal.
Miami-Dade police say 3 days later, Sanchez then tried to burglarize another business using the Bentley when he was caught.
It is a nice-looking car
with a Meat Town sticker on it, as well as tools were discovered inside.
I probably shouldn't put that in my mouth. That's a battery. Why am I doing that?
The owner of Meat Town tells us thousands of dollars of damage were done by that fire, and of course then the fire suppression system that went off, causing all of the water damage. They are hopeful that they'll be able to get that Bentley back soon. In the meantime, Sanchez is in jail. He does have a bond of more than $6,000, and he faces a whole slew of charges, including grand theft and tampering with evidence.
Can you speak up? I can't hear you over the fucking plane. A good old-fashioned Floridian barbecue. Well, if you're gonna commit a crime spree, do it in fashion. I mean, fair to both of these. Ribs. Oh boy! And now we're immediately into child abuse. Florida teacher charged with child abuse days after being named Teacher of the Year. All of these sites. Oh, it's Jacksonville. Fuck that town. A Florida educator was charged with child abuse against a student just 2 days after being named a Teacher of the Year at the school. Carolyn Melanie Lee facing a felony child abuse charge following her arrest on Friday. Lee was arrested after calling a student into her classroom to speak privately and allegedly striking the female student in the face. Well, I mean, I heard of worse things teachers have done to students after calling them in for private conversation. Confrontation was instigated by an Instagram post about Lee being named Teacher of the Year after a student made comment questioning the win. Really? Not even a mugshot? That's lame. In slightly related news, Teacher of the Year is back up for grabs. Strike while the iron is hot. Oh, this is just some guy on Reddit being an edge. Okay. Repost. I'm confused by the photo caption more. Why, what was the photo caption? To a pay-play battle. The report's findings ultimately explain why it's important for school staff members to get back. What does child abuse have to do with anything about a teacher being vaccinated for COVID? What? That from another article? And they just copied and pasted it? Oozed. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever. She is ugly as hell, but isn't it a bit rude to call her a man? You mean awards can't be used to negate punishment? And then just another. Fringe cope, not from Florida. Florida man jumps off a bridge into river after fleeing traffic stop. I pray to God he survives, otherwise I'm gonna feel really bad pretty soon. Video stills of a suspect who jumped off a Florida bridge in Fort Myers after fleeing from a traffic stop on Saturday, October 30th, officials say. A Florida sheriff's office said a suspect fleeing a traffic stop made a dramatic, though unsuccessful, escape attempt when he jumped off the Edison Bridge in Fort Myers to the Caloosahatchee River below. Video released by Lee County Sheriff's Office shows the suspect, Brian Gray, crashing what police said is a stolen van before diving off the side of a bridge. Gray was pulled from the water by a Marine unit of the FMPD, and while he may not have earned a gold medal for his high dive, Gray did find himself in hot water when he earned pending charges of grand theft auto and fleeing and eluding, the sheriff's office said. Okay, so did he do a front flip for style?
Damien Trail, or the bridge right now.
He failed the QTE, yeah. Like those old, like the old Spider-Man video game with all the really goofy QTEs.
Crashing on the bridge right now. Lee County, it just crashed on the bridge. It's on the top of the bridge right now. He's running right now. Looks like he's like trying to hop off the bridge right now. He's standing on the foot of the bridge.
I choose to believe he yelled at those cops, "You'll never take me alive." He did a front flip! He did the flip style! Also, that bridge doesn't look that high. That looks 20 to 30 feet. 50 tops, so that's not as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah, that's totally survivable. Even like if he landed on his head, it probably would have hurt, but he probably could have walked away.
Just sitting there now.
Now, if this was the Tony Hawk game, he would have done like 5 tricks before hitting the ground. So, is he just gonna... Does he think that if he hides out there long enough, they're not gonna find him? What is his plan here? Also, I like how the title is Diving into Jail.
Yeah, let's get closer and put the spotlight on so they just know. Alright.
Like, what was his plan here?
We're gonna try to get a little closer and put the spotlight on them so they know where to go.
On FMPD, they're about to be 10-12. 2252.
Yeah, it looks like they're about
There's
to
an
get the
entrance there.
subject
To
out of
what?
the
Prison?
2252.
I mean, yeah, I feel like he was at a very sink or swim point in his career where if he didn't make it, he would be in.
That's one, which side of the bridge? City side by the FWC building on Edwards.
They just got him in the boat.
Damn it, there's a hair in my mouth and I can't get the fucking thing out.
On the boat with FMPD.
There we go. Could have gotten one this. But hey, nobody died. So that's good. Why was this being written about by a New York news station, though? Just watching that reverse belly flop makes me cringe. He should take diving lessons. Oh, don't worry. He's going to be spending a lot of time on his back in the future. Florida man arrested after airport outburst. Ugh. A Florida man on vacation on St. Thomas was arrested after causing a disturbance at the airport, according to an affidavit filed by the VI Port Authority officers. Oh boy! Florida man abroad! This is gonna be fun! Eric M. Isaacson was arrested Saturday at King Airport after the officer heard a loud disturbance and followed Isaacson screaming obscenities at airline passengers and employees while walking toward the airport bar, according to the affidavit. Normally, it's when you're walking away from the bar. In his hands, Isaacson was holding a bottle of vodka and his shoes, and he had a shirt tied around his neck like a scarf and no mask, according to the affidavit. He sat down and put the liquor and shoes on a table. Don't put your feet on the table. That's just... The officers asked Isaacson to put on his shirt, shoes, and a mask, which caused him to yell more obscenities, and another officer attempted to defuse the situation and escort Isaacson across the street by removing his alcohol and shoes from the table, according to the affidavit. Officers said Isaacson refused to leave, smelled of alcohol, and his clothing was wet and bedded in sand. He had a beach or an airport? Well, I guess it's... Isaacson was arrested and charged with disobeying a lawful order, interfering with an officer discharging his duty, disturbance of the peace, and what is listed in the probable cause fact sheet as exposure in a public place, violation of the governor's mask mandate. The full title of the last charge is exposure in a public place while infected with contagious diseases. Ugh. The Senate Majority Leader Marvin Blyden recently became the first person in the territory ever charged with the crime. Blyden pled not guilty to the charge and is awaiting trial. I don't know what the rest of that statement has to... Like, I don't get what literally all of that paragraph has to do with the article, but okay. No context, I guess. The charge requires that the defendant knowingly exposed others to a contagious disease such as COVID-19 after testing positive. Okay, so does this mean we know for a fact Isaacson has COVID? Because I feel like if he was just being an ass and not wearing a mask, that you can't really charge him on that unless you know for certain he has the disease. At which case, I don't think he would have been allowed to go to another country. I could be wrong, though. The charge requires that, yada, yada, yada. Isaacson appeared in court Monday for his advice of rights hearing, where Magistrate Judge Carolyn Herman Purcell said that there's no evidence Isaacson was infected with COVID-19 and only that he refused to wear a mask in violation of a lawful order. Okay, see, so the judge and I are on the same page here. An assistant VI Attorney General, Brenda Scales, agreed to withdraw that count. Okay, good. Isaacson tested negative for COVID-19 at Schneider Hospital after being processed by police, according to the affidavit. An officer tested in court Monday said that shouldn't that be testified? In court Monday that Isaacson had caused disturbance at the airport the day before he was arrested. His public defender, Paula Norkaitis, said he had a plane ticket for his return home to Florida on Monday afternoon after a week-long trip, but Herman Purcell said that Isaacson would not be allowed to make the flight and ordered him to surrender all travel documents. She said he would be released from jail after signing an unsecured $500 bond, and he would only be allowed to return to Florida if he signs a waiver of extradition and his attorney files a motion to modify his conditions. Okay. Yes, definitely this was padding, Eddie. You are correct. Comments. Edit. Thank you. No gold medal. Motherfucker, we already read this one. The bridge guy again. 1.5, the Ukrainian judge. Hold on, I need to send this to... Man allegedly attempts to steal 100 lobster tails from Coral Gables Publix. A man at Coral Gables allegedly attempted to rob Publix of 100 lobster tails on Monday and threatened to use a weapon, according to police. That order? According to the Coral Gables PD, David Piloto allegedly entered a Publix supermarket located on Lejeune Road in Coral Gables around 5:30 p.m. He then hopped onto an electric shopping cart and proceeded toward the seafood section of the store. So he was trying to rob them in one of those little rascals for the handicapped customers that all the 500-pound fat people ride. Police said that Piloto then asked an employee for 100 lobster tails that were being sold at $6.99 each. He was then given 100 tails worth $699 US. I'm honestly surprised they even had 100 lobster tails in stock. That must have been the bulk of what they had in the back. After having 100 crustacean tails placed in a shopping cart, he made a turn and proceeded directly towards the exit with no intention of paying, according to the arrest report. I'm sorry, just him. Also, crustacean, so minimum character count there. Just fucking. I mean, these things go like 5 miles an hour tops. You can walk faster than them. Police say the store manager immediately confronted Piloto and blocked him from exiting the Publix. That is when Piloto allegedly grabbed the cardboard box that contained the lobster tails and shoved the store manager with it. At one point, police say the store manager told them Piloto was heard yelling, "I have a weapon and I'm not afraid to use it," multiple times. Police say the store manager feared for his life that very moment. Thankfully, police arrived shortly after to place Piloto into custody. Piloto was placed under arrest according to police for attempted strong-arm robbery and simple battery, according to arrest report. What, you couldn't throw shoplifting onto that? Christ, look at his cold dead lizard eyes. Also, he's a guy in a rascal with a box of lobster tails, dude. You have the height advantage as long as he's sitting down. Trust me. You can take him, Mr. Store Manager. Theft law. Land of Heroes. Wasn't there a Florida State football team that got locked up for stealing crab legs? The need for seafood is strong in Florida. Yeah, Jameis Winston. I remember that. Seems like a good price at $7 a tail, though. No? Yeah, I mean, it is a good price. Dr. Nefario's best days are very clearly behind. Oh, I haven't even seen Despicable Me enough. You need to have a solid getaway plan. What was even the plan? Sell them on the street? I think this qualifies as a hijack. Unfortunately, it also qualifies as felony theft. I hate when people try to weaponize crustaceans. Noble idea. Bad execution. He got lobbed in jail. I want to see this chase scene from the helicopter's perspective. Go big or go to jail. Fucking hell. I haven't even read the headline. All I see is the blackface. Brevard County firefighter under investigation over blackface photo. Jake Johnson was his first name. Pictured in blackface at Halloween party officially. How do people not realize blackface is bad still? For fuck's sakes, we dragged the Prime Minister of Canada through the coals for this. What makes you think you're gonna get away with it, random firefighter from Brevard County? I mean, for fuck's sakes. What was his costume? A disappointment? A waste of my taxes? A Brevard County firefighter is under investigation after a picture of him in blackface surfaced on social media, county government officials said. Don Walker, county communications director, confirmed that one of the people in the photo is Jake Johnson, who works at Brevard Fire Rescue Station 63 in India Atlantic. The image features two men and a woman. Was taken at a Halloween party on October 30th with the caption, "Yes, Denzel Washington and O.J. Simpson showed up at our party." See, the worst part about that is I was going to make an O.J. Simpson joke, and then they fucking beat me to it. So now I feel bad for not making mine first. Walker said the county attorney and human rights department have been consulted in reference to the incident. In a statement to News 6, the woman in the image who posted it on social media claimed she did not know the term blackface until a friend notified her after posting the picture. She said after learning the history of the term, she deleted the post. Honestly, I think it's more just an HR investigation than a criminal investigation. Because it doesn't sound like they're pressing charges. It just sounds like his bosses are pissed at him for being a moron. Which, yeah, don't do blackface in public. How is this hard? Christ, I make jokes about this shit, but I know not to do it. I mean, it's Florida, Eddie. They very well might not know. I apologize for my ignorance in the post which offended people. I would not belittle someone or post content that targets another person, she said. Okay, so this woman at least apologizes. She gets some points. Six made several attempts to contact Johnson but have not been successful. A Brevard County official said he is believed to be on vacation. I was completely shocked and disgusted. And every single person I share that photo with has the exact same reaction. Michelle Spradley, a Brevard County woman who shared the image on social media before it was removed. Hey. Okay, so apparently Brian did Lake after all. Wonder if he did Ocean.
Well, tonight, controversy erupting in Brevard County over a picture of a firefighter in blackface.
The woman who posted it on social media says she did not know that people would find it offensive. News 6's Brian Didlake has the story new at 11.
So far, we know that one of the two.
That is I'm sorry. That is just a really ugly fucking shirt that he is wearing. That's all I wanted to say. I just think the shirt's ugly.
Pictured in blackface works here at Brevard County Fire and Rescue Station number 63 in India Atlantic. I did get a chance to speak with people about the situation on social media, and all are calling for accountability.
I was completely shocked and disgusted, and
of course it's a relatively young white woman taking offense and being used as the poster child. Just pointing that one out.
Every single person that I've shared that photo with has had that exact same reaction.
Michelle Spradley says she was one of the first people to share this photo. A picture of Jake Johnson, a firefighter and paramedic in blackface. Brevard County Fire Rescue confirming this is Johnson, alongside two other people, with the man on the right also in blackface.
There was more than one person doing blackface? Why? Why?
Photo taken this past Saturday had this caption saying, "Yes, Denzel Washington and O.J. Simpson showed up to our party."
In my mind, I cannot even begin to process why that would be a costume.
News 6 did reach out to Brevard County's communication director, who says they're looking into the situation. Currently, it is understood Johnson is on vacation, which has delayed the investigation, but officials say the county's attorney and human resources have been contacted. We tried several times to contact Johnson for comment, but have not heard back. The woman in the middle between the two men in blackface speaks out, explaining the picture was taken at a movie costume party. And
I mean, assuming they're right and this guy on the right here is also doing blackface, at least the fucking firefighter put in the effort to also paint other parts of his body. Like, this guy, if he's doing blackface, the rest of him sure don't look at it like it. Like, look at his hand and his arm. And then compare Blackface McGee over here's hand and arm. Like, if you're gonna be racist, at least put in effort. That's all I'm saying. Come on.
In a statement, she claims to have not known of the term blackface and goes on to say, in part, "I apologize for my ignorance in the post which offended people. I would never belittle someone or post content that targets another person." Commenters say there is no excuse.
Blackface is not a costume. Dressing up as Indian chiefs is not a costume. Dressing up as any kind of cultural representation is not a costume. It's not appropriate. It's racist.
And yet St. Patrick's Day is still a thing.
Donna Wilson says going forward, she hopes there is action.
Look, man, I'm Irish. That's like the one thing I have. Just let me keep it.
Within Brevard County's first responders.
This makes me think, like, if they had an emergency, are they going to get the sincere help that they need? Because here they are at a Halloween party in blackface, like just mocking people that look like me.
To be fair, I don't think they're gonna tell you when you're being called out to put out a fire if the house on fire is owned by a black family or a white family. Paramedic, maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but again, I'm not an EMT. I don't know. But like, oh yeah, there's a house on fire in a poor black neighborhood. Hey, let's circle around the block a few times, Frank. It'll be funny. No, that shit don't happen no more.
It is still unclear what.
Trust me, if it did, there would be rioting in the streets, and we would be hearing about it for months.
Brevard County Fire Rescue for any updates on their investigation, and once we learn more, we'll get back to you. But for now, we're in Brevard County. Brian Dillett getting results. News 6.
God damn it, just a freeze frame blackface. We live in a society. Cute Joker makeup. Don't be Brevard. Don't be Brevard. Hush. Again. So his costume was just being black? Fucking lazy if you ask me. At least go as Harriet Tubman or some shit. See? This guy gets it. If you're gonna be racist, at least put in the effort to have a correct racist caricature and not just fucking street clothes. No, see, the other guy that was allegedly doing blackface was the one with the knife and covered in fake blood. So I think he was O.J. Simpson. I think the firefighter was Denzel Washington. I'm guessing. I don't know. They didn't show the other guy's face. Which, why are they only showing the one guy? I would, fuck it. If he's in the photo too and his face is already out there, just name the other guy. Christ, get some more clickbait going. Yeah. You know who they you know who they should have reached out to for comment? Denzel Washington and O.J. Simpson, just to get their opinions on how accurate the costumes are. See, this guy gets it. At least Trudeau put on a turban and robe. This guy's just in a t-shirt basically saying, lol, black people. Am I right? This guy gets it. This is the point I'm trying to make. He owned... How hard is it to not do blackface in this day and age? Well, he owned the libs. Owned them so hard, almost like dying and blah, blah, blah. I try to fucking avoid COVID shit on here unless it happens to just accidentally pop up when I'm not paying attention, because Reddit circle jerks, man. Okay, let's... I mean, here's a bunch of downvoted Reddit comments. Gonna be, whoop. You know what? We're just gonna move on. I don't even care. Florida man pays $50 daily fine to have Trump won and Let's Go Brandon banners. Well, I mean, if they're on his property, I don't see why he has to pay a fine. Unless these are apartments and he only owns one of them. Florida man Marvin Peavy is paying $50 a day to hang political banners outside of his home. Let's Go Brandon and Trump Won banners, extending 3 stories high, are in violation of local code enforcement laws, costing Peavy $50 a day. I'm here on the beach and I get a lot of traffic, and people need to see what I believe, a grinning Peavy told WMBB TV. That's free speech. I wanted everyone to know I'm a Republican and I'm supporting Donald Trump. Okay. Walton County Code Compliance Officer Michael Lynch told WMBB that the land use code preserves visual structures of the peaceful beach vacation community and the banner's content is around. Okay, so I guess no matter what the banner would be, if it was a if it was a Biden one, maybe not, but probably still, assuming that the government would actually get off its ass and enforce the law. Peavy had previously flown his Trump Won banner last year during the 2020 presidential election, but he removed it after President Biden took office. This past Saturday added, Let's Go Brandon. Peavy, not backing down, told WMBB that people all over the nation have offered to pay the fines for him. Well, I mean, if he's scamming other people into paying them for him, fuck it, keep him up. A fool and his money. Like, if I could make free money every day while owning the libs, I would do it. Fuck it. Why not? But that doesn't clarify whether this is an apartment or if he owns all 4. But it looks like it's an apartment. Code enforcement literally only enforces code violations when they don't like you or they need extra money for the city. Yeah, okay. Fair. Florida man. Okay. Considering dude owns a multi-level beach house, I don't think he's worried about $50 a day. Yeah, probably. Not that I think this should be illegal, but because it's clearly protected speech. But okay, this is just a personal opinion, but whenever you do a phrase with "not that I blank," comma, but your statement prior is immediately made irrelevant. Crime is a fine. It's only legal for the poor. I mean, this is the same person who would make fun of the fact that mostly Trump's supporters are the. Whatever. Not the turns if you're. Yep. If your entire life it revolves around triggering the opposition party, you aren't interested in politics. You're interested in living your years as a high school bully. The irony of someone making that statement about politics on Reddit. Oh, I love that feeling. Brandon thing. A fool and his money. See, this guy said the exact same thing I did. I like this guy's idea. Double the fine every day. When it's 2 weeks in and the fine is $409,600, or 3 weeks in and it's $52 million. Take his home and everything in it. Then the new owner can have some home stands banners. Ha ha! God bless idiots on Reddit promoting government overreach. This is why I don't like talking about the politics stuff on here. Not because of the articles themselves. I'm fine with laughing at the articles. It's just the Reddit circle jerk. Ugh. God. I can't stand that shit. I haven't read the headline yet. I just saw the fucking mugshot. Homeless Camaro driver hides under bags of trash after high-speed chase, deputies say. 47-year-old James Earl Hinson, again, as always, 2 first names, don't trust him, drove over a mile before getting caught. Dun 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 dun. We'll get him next time, boss. Brevard County, Florida. A homeless man driving a Camaro hid inside of a shed under bags of trash after a high-speed chase on Saturday, Brevard County Sheriff's deputies say. A deputy attempted to pull him over at a gas station after a request from a Cocoa Police Department to find a blue Chevy Camaro linked to a kidnapping, deputies say. Well, this escalated quickly. We went from hobo snake to kidnapping. According to an arrest report, Hinson tried evading the deputies after driving down multiple side streets. He was ultimately arrested after running into a backyard shed over a mile away from the initial point of contact. Property owner said he had not given Hinson permission to use the shed. Hinson was spent previous charges of driving under a suspended license. The owner said he had not given Hinson permission to be in the shed. Yeah, no shit! It's called breaking and entering, you dumb fuck! He's been charged with fleeing and eluding an officer at high speed and driving with a suspended license. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could add breaking and entering and trespassing to that list. I need to finish Half-Life 2 first, so probably Tuesday. Did he drive the shed? Maybe? God, I need to replay Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3. I don't know. I've got a 360 now. I could track down the HD collection. And the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring, and then I start eating garbage. And I pick up the trash can and I bash the guy on the head. Yep. And it's always sunny. Homeless Camaros are getting out of control. Meth-fueled maximum overdrive. Brevard County is a wild place. Yeah. Oh, my home county. Gotta love it. Brevard County is the Florida of the state. And he's right. I can give a homeless Camaro a home. Doing my part. That's a bitchin' Camaro. Florida man got game. I'm gonna give my guy a benefit of... I'd give a guy my home and family for a Camaro, just saying. The homeless Camaro drove Florida man? Sheesh, even the audios in Florida are getting in on the act. Also, what the fuck did that have to do with the car being linked to a kidnapping? Are we not gonna elucidate on that part? Because apparently someone got kidnapped and we're just gonna brush over that? What? Why? I want to know more about the kidnapping. Florida man, wait. This is the guy diving off a bridge. This is the guy. This is the 3rd time this article popped up. Fuck. Fucking damn it. How many times did this article get reposted this week? Florida man caught on camera cutting satellite cables and knocking 8 TV stations off the air. This week in Panama City Beach, Florida, a mysterious man was caught on surveillance video slicing satellite cables at the WJHG TV headquarters, knocking 8 stations off the air, including 2 for a couple of days. Crews worked overnight to repair the broadcasting equipment. Police are still seeking the man, reported as, quote-unquote, a white male dressed in a dark jacket and camouflage pants. So that in no way narrows down the suspect. That's literally half the men in Florida. On Sunday night, WJHG employees noticed the signals were out and went outside to check. The employees did find a man he didn't recognize near one of the satellite dishes. The man told our employee that he was with the Tyndall Air Force Base and was told to cut the wires due to a power issue, saying he was tasked because he lived nearby and was with the Navy. Oh no, not the Navy! The suspect then fled on foot and last seen heading towards Front Beach Road. This person knew what he was doing and knew how to disable it and make it very difficult to repair the satellite dishes, said Ulysses Carlini, WJHG. This is not a random act of vandalism. This man was methodical in disabling the strategically cutting cables that linked all our satellite dishes to our facility. That's it. Florida man is the chaotic neutral of humanity. Cable providers. These cord cutters are getting serious. The revolution will not be televised because I cut the cable! Okay. Do we risk it? Do we risk it? Oh. Oh, it's from Trailer Park Boys. Okay. I was expecting a Rickroll. I was not expecting Trailer Park Boys. The hero we don't need, but likely deserve. It's not Florida Man's fault they're made of copper. It just sounds like a design flaw. Yeah. Back in school, when we were discussing in class why a maglev would be a bad idea for our country, the teacher mentioned that it would be an endless tons of copper laid out unsupervised in the countryside. And the whole class went, oh, yeah, not happening. Yeah. God bless the crackhead economy. Keeping the wire market kept afloat. Meth is a hell of a drug. About capitalism. White male in camouflage in Florida. That ought to narrow it down. He left Fox News cable intact. Panama City again. So that would explain it. Maybe it's the guy who had those fucking banners up. Must be a Jim Carrey Cable Guy fan. Ooh, that's a deep cut. I'm just hoping he cut the satellite receiver cables because if Florida Man has finally done enough meth to develop working space flight just to go up and try to steal wires in orbit to buy more meth, then we're all doomed. 8 stations. At least 3 people lost signal. I approve of this for some reason. Alright, that one was kind of weak. What do we got next? Officers arrest suspected thieves targeting cars with Hellcat engines. The fuck is a Hellcat? Weston, Florida. 2 suspected thieves have been arrested for stealing a specific type of car near Northwest 19th Avenue and 152nd Street, Miami Gardens. Vincent Caceres and Sire Refner. I'm guessing this is Victor and this is Sire. Because why would you not name your white kid a Sire? What's his little brother's name? King? Facing charges including grand theft auto after Broward Sheriff's Office detectives found they stole a 2018 Dodge Charger Hellcat. Grand theft of a motor vehicle, there is a firearms charges in play as well. Conspiracy to commit a felony and the organized dealing in stolen property, says BSO Detective Thomas House. An off-duty BSO deputy saw a car parked in Springside Terrace in Weston last week, and he knew something was off. See something, say something, said House. He called us, he said, hey, this don't look right. Investigators revealed that the car was in fact stolen. We surveilled the vehicle, and we apprehended 2 auto thieves of theft offenders that are high profile, in our opinion. These are my kids, Sire, King, and the little sister, Milady. Fuck, I wish I had a fedora. Donate to the stream so I can buy a fedora and make myself want to die even more. Detectives were determined that the 2018 Dodge Charger Hellcat was stolen out of Davie. Detectives followed the car into Miami Gardens Friday. Caceres, taken into custody without incident, was found to be in possession of a Glock 9mm. Refner, however, fled on foot, was taken into custody a short distance away. He took off on foot, said House. It was very brief when we got him into custody safe and, without any further incident. I like how just reading this sentence, I could hear the fucking police officer shrugging as he says this. I can fucking hear that shit. And like, yeah, we got him into safe custody and, no further incidents. House said there are things you can do to keep your car safe. We've seen a high uptick in crime that this particular crime spree on the Hellcat. We just asked that the public to help us help you guys. There's several things on the market right now. Some products, anti-theft devices, the good old-fashioned club from years back that everyone knows and used back in the 90s and early 2000s. There's also aftermarket GPS devices you can have and install on your own, or you can have a company out here do it. The dealership can help you as well. BSO detectives said to check out the safety options available to you at the dealership, especially with the Hellcat model, and remember, always lock your door and take the keys. Yeah.
Sheriff's deputies say some thieves were driven to steal a particular car featuring a high-powered
I mean, that is a really sick-looking car.
All sorts of car trouble.
But as 7's Vanessa Medina reports, officials pumped the brakes on their plans.
Boo!
Victor Caceres and Sire Refner face a
Wow,
list
I
of
got both
charges,
names right.
including grand theft auto, after BSO detectives say they stole this 2018 Dodge Charger Hellcat.
Grand theft of a motor vehicle. There is firearms charges in play as well. Conspiracy to commit a felony and organized dealing in stolen property.
An off-duty BSO deputy saw the car parked on Springside Terrace in Weston, and he knew something was off.
See something,
hey,
say
Dub.
something. He called us. He said, hey, this doesn't look right. Investigation revealed that the car was in fact stolen. We surveilled the vehicle.
Who knows what they were trying to do?
We apprehended 2 auto theft offenders that are high profile in our opinion.
I feel like they did steal the car. It's just that since the car has a high-end engine, it's probably worth more.
Arrested, police finding a Glock 9mm on him.
But that's just my theory. I don't know.
Decided he would try his luck.
He took off on foot. It was very brief, and we got him into custody, safe, and you know.
Okay, hold on. I just noticed something about his shirt. Am I high, or is the rank deputy on his shirt a smaller font than his name? Like, am I the only one seeing this?
Further incident.
The Dodge Charger, known for its high-powered Hellcat engine, was stolen out of Davie, and this type of car appears to be quite popular with car thieves.
We've seen a high uptick in crime, this particular crime spree of the Hellcat.
Detective Thomas House says there are things you can do to help keep your car safe.
We just ask the public to help us help you guys. There's several things on the market right now, several products, anti-theft devices, the good old-fashioned club from years back that everyone knows and used to love back in the 90s and early 2000s. There's also aftermarket GPS devices that you can have and install on your own, or you can have a company out here do it. The dealerships can help you get it as well.
Detectives say to check out the safety options available to you at the dealership, especially with
this woman has some long ass hair.
They also say to remember and lock your door and take your key fob with you. Reporting near Fort Lauderdale, Vanessa Medina, Today in Florida.
Yeah. I like how, and then all the top comment is just someone complaining that these stories are supposed to be funny. Like, I don't know. Joke's on you. You're embarrassing yourself, he says while losing an argument on Reddit. Tampa mom who pulled kids from school over masks was first... Oh my god, they talked about this last week. Oh, I think I skipped it though. Yeah, this was the dumb bitch who pulled her kids from the school because of the mask mandate, but is still suing the school district so her kids can play sports and I think win like $50K per game. Or something absolutely nuts like that. Fucking hell. God damn it, this guy was last week! Why? I get that Reddit is like the repost hub of the internet. But why? Why do they keep reposting the same fucking stories? It's like they can't even be bothered to search. This is the guy that robbed the Waffle House using finger guns and got away with a bunch of napkins. while in a SpongeBob shirt and a shitty mustache. This is not a mustache. This is a mustache. Florida man accused of attacking pregnant on? Come back from a dead baby. Fuck it. Listen, don't attack pregnant nurses and don't kill their fucking unborn children, because that's literally the backstory for Saw. That's why that dude became a fucking serial killer. I am not joking. Anyway, 5 Florida police officers spent an hour chasing a runaway pig. Oh, God. So they were chasing one of their own. I'm sorry. Five Pensacola police officers, at least 2 animal control officers, and 2 code enforcement officers spent an hour chasing a runaway pig on November 2nd, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, the Baconator. 5 Florida police, yada, yada, yada. The chase began at about 7:15 a.m. just north of downtown Pensacola, according to the Pensacola News Journal. One of the cops finally left on the black and white swine near a law office, and the Pensacola Police Department was keeping an animal in protective custody as it searched for its owner. What we are trying to do is keep him north of Garden Street, because if the pig ran out on the Garden Street, it would cause all sorts of problems, police officer Mike Wood told the paper. Garden Street is busy, and if he ran out into Garden, the pig could get hit. So we were trying to keep him north of Garden until animal patrol could arrive. Look at him go! Look at him go. He's a good pig. Very good pig. I am so glad this followed up the dead baby. I'm sad again. Whoop. Any good comments? We're gonna see how long till someone makes a joke comparing the cops to the pig. No luck, Pat catching. Yeah, there it is. Cops never leave a squad mate behind. Why didn't the police shoot the pig? Professional courtesy. Your mom got out again. Hey, points for not making a cop joke. Okay, yeah. He's got the fucking Kubrick stare going down on his mugshot, though. Caught on cam, Naples man wearing fire rescue shirt arrested for arson. A Naples man is in custody after detectives say they saw video footage of him lighting a fire at a Collier County apartment complex. Garrett Otto Gimbel, again, 2 first names, 40, was wearing a blue shirt with firefighter and fire rescue written on it. When Collier County Sheriff's deputies arrested him in connection with the... Okay, so he wasn't wearing it at the arson. He was wearing it when they arrested him. That's not as funny. Him in connection with the fire at the Addison Place Apartments, located at the 8,000 blocks of Addison Circle. This is just off Immokalee Road. Deputies responded to a report of a fire in the trash room at the apartment complex just before 5 p.m. on Saturday. Smoke and flames were already visible when deputies and firefighters instructed residents to evacuate from the building. Firefighters extinguished the blaze without any reported injuries, but investigators with the state fire marshal were able to determine that the fire was intentionally set. Eric Aquino lived in Addison. It was just uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. You have families with their children, and you know it just wasn't called for, Aquino said. No, arson is never called for. Unless they deserve it. Security video showed Gimbel, who lives in the apartment complex, wearing that blue firefighter shirt, lighting papers on fire and throwing them into trash cans through trash chutes. Deputies say witnesses reported seeing Gimbel around the area, 8 minutes before the fire alarms went off. I went down the hall and I smelled the fumes, Aquino said. Courtney Churchill lives in the complex. I guess there's crazy people everywhere and just happen to live in the neighborhood with her, Bill said. Thankfully, no one was hurt as a result of the fire, and we were able to walk out in one piece, and that's what counts the most, said Aquino. Deputies found Gimbel on the 5500 block of Pine Ridge Road. He initially denied setting the fire, but then detectives showed him security footage, which appeared to show him doing that. Gimbel was arrested and faces charges of first-degree arson, felony criminal mischief, and resisting arrest. Neighbors at Addison Place say this isn't the first time Gimbel has terrorized the people of the complex. He was served an eviction notice from the complex after someone saw Gimbel ripping windshield wipers from cars on the property. This caused significant damage. Detectives are continuing to investigate other similar crimes in the area, which that may be linked to Gimbel. Now that Gimbel has been caught and is in custody, neighbors no longer worry about him. I'm just glad it's over, Churchill said. Wink News reached out for a representative of Addison Place, but was told the complex does not have a comment. God damn, look at that fucking stare. That's intense.
A man wearing a firefighter shirt caught starting fires. Good evening. I'm Nicole Gabe.
And I'm Russ McCaskey. Investigators say he may be connected to similar crimes in Collier County. Now, this all happened Saturday at Addison Place Apartments off of Mockley Road. That's where we find the Night Beat's Zach Oliveri, who explains how deputies caught him.
Surveillance videos showed that man starting the fire. Deputies were sent out here to evacuate the building.
You think they're going to show the security footage?
Sure. Made it easy for deputies to identify him, then arrest him. Jared Gimbel's blue shirt
that's terrifying.
May have said firefighter, but according to the Collier County Sheriff's Office, he's a fire starter.
I guess there's crazy people
He was
everywhere,
fighting the building
and they
using
just happen
fire.
to live, in the neighborhood here.
Gimbel gave neighbors in the Addison Place Apartments in Collier County an eventful Saturday afternoon.
It was just uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. You had families with their children, and it wasn't called for.
Investigators say the 40-year-old was caught on camera
terrifying.
lighting papers on fire and throwing them down the trash chute, then hitting the trash cans, starting the fire.
I went down the hallway and smelled I smelled the fumes.
Deputies and firefighters had to evacuate people from the building. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
We were able to walk out in one piece, and that's what counts the most, and nobody got hurt.
Neighbors say this isn't the first time he terrorized people in the complex. He was served an eviction notice from the complex after someone saw him ripping off windshield wipers from cars on property, causing significant damage. Now that he's in custody, neighbors say
how much
don't
damage
have to
could
worry
you even
about
do
him
to a
anymore.
car ripping off the fucking
I spoke with a representative
windshield
here at
wiper
the
anyway.
complex earlier today about what happened. I was told no comment. On the Night Beat,
Like, that's some
Oliveri,
Kubrick-ass
Wink
bullshit
News.
right there, that stare. Like, he is, look at this man, he is staring into my goddamn soul. Be confused about what the concept of a fireman does? Maybe he thought firemen set fire? Firefighter is fighting fire with fire? Oh, you're onto something here. We're at 451, Fahrenheit 451, well high. Okay, that's a pretty good joke. Yeah, like, that's fucking Kubrick. That's Alex DeLarge. You're right. Probably caught waking over the scene. Guys like this are dangerous. Hope they lock him up. Help. He was just spraying the body of an alligator he wrestled that morning. Great. Not contribute at all. Police warn woman not to wear a Halloween costume at protest. Hollywood, Florida. South Florida woman says she was warned by local police officers not to wear a Halloween costume that's designed like a condo building project that she and others opposed since it was considered a protest for which she needs a permit. What? Kat Uden told South Florida Sun Sentinel that the officers told her that if she wore the costume to the city of Hollywood's Weird Halloween, God, that's hard to say, Holly Weird Halloween. Holly Weird Halloween. Holly Weird Halloween. Halloween Halloween. Try saying that one 5 times fast. Block party Saturday night. That would be considered a planned protest march. Uden says she still plans to wear the costume, but bring along her 12-year-old son. I don't want him to see me getting harassed by police. Uden has been a leading critic of the developer's plan to build a 30-story condo on taxpayer-owned beachfront land. Land is currently home to the park with the center of... okay, yeah, this is just an 80s movie. This is an 80s teen drama. The vote on the matter by city commissioners is expected later this year. On Facebook, Uden urged others opponents of the development to wear costumes like hers, designed like a condo builder, to bring signs that say no condo to the Halloween block party. 2 days after she posted the message, she said she got a call from the local police. I told them it's a costume party. I don't consider it a demonstration. That's why I didn't apply for a permit. Police spokeswoman Diana Batinci said that Uden needed a permit to hold a quote-unquote planned protest march. She attends the event and leads an organized demonstration. Uden was given a warning and asked to leave. After warning, the penalty could lead under arrest. It could include arrest with a fine of up to $500 or $60 in jail. Whatever her name. Bob Jarvis, a constitutional law professor at Nova Southeastern, told the Sun Sentinel right to wear the costume, since doing that was protected by the First Amendment. We're on very shaky ground, Jarvis said. There's no reason to think she is inciting anyone or that she will start a riot. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna agree with the fucking law professor here. He's right. It's like just in a fucking costume. Fucking man. Always happy to overstep their bounds. I'm sorry, I couldn't read this over the sound of all the beautiful freedom of speech. Murray Makula arrested after playing Catch Me If You Can with Florida Highway Patrol. Okay, no, I thought this was the TikTok burnout guy from last. I think this is different. But I could be wrong. The Murray Makula, 18, was detained on Friday after reportedly breaking a red light and leading Florida Highway Patrol authorities on a high-speed chase of more than 100 miles an hour. According to the Florida Highway Patrol... Oh, god damn it, this is the burnout guy! Fuck! This son of a bitch is 18 and he's already making $500,000 from social media. Fuck you. Yeah, we already read this story last week. Oh, it turns out they could. Ron Howard, narrator boy. Forklift to aisle 1. Grown man lies on floor in Costco after being asked to wear a mask. Oh, boy. Florida man was filmed as he lay on the floor in a Costco for 8 minutes in protest after he was told to put on a face mask, as a pair of local sheriffs asked the face to get off the floor and leave the premises. All I want to do is buy this stuff and leave, but the government is telling me I can't unless I wear a mask. What I want to know is what do you want me to... All I want to know is what you want me to do. The man asked one of the officers who was wearing a face mask during the exchange, video of which ended up roughly a minute into the episode. It occurred on December 2020 at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic hysteria in a Costco located in Lynn. If this happened last December, why is it being written about now? Video of the man, who was not publicly identified, began making viral rounds on Saturday after her Twitter user posted a TikTok of the bizarre incident. It's been viewed over 880 4,000 times, 8,000 likes, and nearly 1,000 combined retweets that Monday night. The city would sue Costco and the police if they touched him. The who has to remain told news there. Shopping without a mask, and I assume he put one on to enter and then took off on inside. But I don't about that. He got up because the police officers allowed him to pay for stuff and leave. He got up and paid for his stuff at the self-checkout, and then ordered him out. Florida man pictured with the Costco protester. Did the article just repeat itself twice? What? And this is just a bunch of people complaining about Karen bullshit. Yeah, it's just a bunch of people. Polk County deputy arrested after... Okay, so am I high or is that Yandere Dev? Because that looks like fucking Yandere Dev. Hold on. Look at that. And look at this. And look at that. Am I wrong to think he looks like Yandere Dev? Like, not old Yandere Dev. I mean current, sad, fat Yandere. Not Consume the Cum Palace. Auburndale, Florida. A Polk County deputy was arrested for DUI after driving off an Auburndale roadway and flipping his car, officers said. The deputies arrested 26-year-old Josiah Perry on Saturday following a single-vehicle crash on Kayville Avenue near Pinter Road. The crash occurred around 8:15 p.m. Hey, at least the only person who got hurt was himself. Investigators said Perry initially said someone else was driving, but later admitted he was the driver. They said he was driving a 2017 Ford Explorer, drove off the roadway, and flipped the vehicle. Perry was uninjured following the crash. Otherwise, the responding deputies described Perry's eyes as bloodshot and watery. Officials said he admitted he had recently had lots of vodka and cranberry juice. Deputies said that they did sobriety tests and determined he was in pain. Perry provided 2 breath samples, which showed he had an alcohol content of 0.128 and 0.129. The legal limit in Florida is 0.8, so about 1.5 times. Perry resigned from the sheriff's office following the arrest. He was hired by the agency, and according to the sheriff's office, if he did not resign, he would have. Perry has lost my trust and faith, as well as that of the community, Sheriff Grady Judd said in a statement. He no longer serves as a law enforcement officer, as a result of the conduct of his own. I need to see what this is, because I'm pretty sure I know the story about Monkey. I met a cop in Orlando one time who said he'd have to drive home the next day instead of that night because he couldn't get a third DUI. Keep it classy, Florida cops. I mean, at least he was smart enough to not. So points? This sounds like the cops from... Totally shocked that he looks like a peanut. The Jesus took the wheel defense. His head and he's concussed. Can't remember the name of the driver. Driver actually existed. Was ejected from the vehicle. Body never found. Monkey Island of Homosassa, a Florida tale. Homosassa, Florida. In the middle of the Homosassa River sits an island of monkeys. Florida's very own version of Alcatraz started off as a pile of submerged rocks in the 1960s and transformed into a quirky historical picture. It's an old tale, a story that is told numerous times by the locals and remains an attraction that both surprises and delights visitors. The story of Monkey Island started with a well-known developer, sought to fix out two seemingly simple problems. Little did he know that he would create an iconic part of the Nature Coast identity that would stick around decades later. Lighthouse wooden hut, swing ropes, and a palm tree sit on this pile of sand and rocks. Over the years, several monkeys have called it home. The first problem. A Citrus County developer, G.A. Ferguson, nicknamed Fergie, was involved in the establishing of the area of Homosassa River back in the 1950s and 60s, explains Mary. Historic Monkey Island Board. He worked for 36 years until his retirement in 1983. Fergie put together land deals and even created an animals and plants attraction, known today as the Ellie Schiller Homosassa Springs Wildlife Park that's located about 2.5 miles by road from the island. During the 60s, he also worked on the Norris Cattle Company, which owned land in the area, Strait said. At one point, the company was said to send Fergie away on business, but before Fergie left Strait Explorer, he kept himself a pile of rocks in the middle of the river and was causing trouble for the fishermen. Those rocks were shallow enough for the boat to run into and deep enough where fishermen couldn't spot them with the naked eye. So Fergie and Norris, the owners of the company, directed one of his dragline operators to pile some dirt around the rocks for boaters to spot them and avoid a collision. So what happened then? How Monkey Island came to be is this dragline operator got a little bit carried away, Strait said, put a lot of dirt on these rocks. Thereby, they created a small island in the river, which is just outside the Riverbed Resort today. When Fergie returned, he had noticed the island wasn't very attractive. It wasn't just a bunch of dirt in the middle of the river, so he enhanced it by building a lighthouse on the island. The lighthouse still stands on Monkey Island today. The second problem. Meanwhile, the monkeys that would eventually call the man-made island their home were brought to America by a naturalist, John Hamlet. Ferguson ran to Hamlet in South Dakota and convinced him to come to Florida to work for him. The naturalist brought along his monkeys, too. Obviously, Ebony, Elf, and Emily, and of course the one with the female name is the one yelling. Ha 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 ha. Strait said the monkey's purpose was to perfect the polio vaccine back in the 1950s. Well, that escalated quickly. The idea was the monkeys would do like most Floridians, retire after their purpose was satisfied with the polio vaccine. They would retire to the Homosassa Wildlife State Park. But like in the movies, the monkeys were quite mischievous, escaping their cage. They would get in visitors' cars. They would steal candy. They would even bite some tourists. Heist. Strait said. Now we have a problem. The way the legend goes, it said he often thought about sending them to Alcatraz. But then Fergie realized he had his own little Alcatraz right on Homosassa River. Primates, 3 spider monkeys, and 2 squirrel monkeys moved in, and the Monkey Island we know today was established. A permanent solution, decades later. Today, Monkey Island remains one of the most unique sites along Florida's nature. The original group of monkeys lasted for 12 years before they began dying, and they've been replaced by younger monkeys over the years. Now only a handful of spider monkeys. Blake Lohman and his family took over the resort. And no, he never thought he would ever own an island of monkeys. We're from the area. We're from Hernando County. We're only 30 minutes away. My family's involved in businesses and just saw an opportunity. It sounded like a pretty cool thing to try and get in on, so yeah, we bought it. With that ownership, the Lohman family community made big plans to maintain Monkey Island. He said he wants to make sure it can last another decades for future generations of monkeys to live and farm. Owning Monkey Island comes with the guidelines and no. Unlike decades ago, there are now rules and regulations to follow set by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Owners must follow. To start, food. Monkeys are fed twice a day. Their diet includes fruits, vegetables, and USDA-approved monkey chow, which blends nutrients they are required to consume. But the fun part is how they fed. Marina staff employees who are cross-trained to feed primate residents pile into a boat and depart for Monkey Island. While they are out there, the employees circle the island looking for any hazards or trash. Then we throw the food to them. Try to scatter around so they can have a dig and play and search. Usually, at least once a week, we try to get on the island and to do any repairs, try to clean up any trash or any hazardous to them. Basically, people kind of throw things on the island, so we have to go and clean up. It's just sad, very sad. He said every day is different. He meets families His family meets people from every state, every country, all walks of life. They seem pretty shocked if they've never been here before. They see an island right off our property with monkeys on it. Said, you always explain the story how it got there and the history behind it. He said the best way to see Monkey Island is from Florida's Cracker Monkey Bar on the resort property, which is about 30 to 40 yards away.
I love this one. This has been described as a mini Alcatraz for monkeys.
We got your attention, didn't we? In today's Drone Zone, we're taking you to the Homosassa River for a little history on Monkey Island.
Man, I thought this was just going to be drone footage.
So we're in Old Homosassa. Right now we're at the Florida Cracker Riverside Resort, and we have 54 hotel rooms, a marina, monkey bar, and next month we will have the opening of the Florida Cracker Kitchen. We also have 2 boat ramps, about 85.
Why is their pool shaped like a cock and balls?
I'm Blake Lohman, and I'm one of the owners of the Florida Cracker Riverside Resort, and also one of the caretakers. Monkey Island was formed basically in the early 60s by a gentleman of G.A. Ferguson. And before what you see today, Monkey Island, there was a bunch of small rocks kind of just peeking over the water surface.
Dub, are you speaking from experience with that?
He hired a dragline operator to build up some rocks and dirt around the island so no boaters would ruin their props. And the guy got a little bit carried away and basically formed an island out in the middle of the river. And Mr. Ferguson was also part of the state wildlife park over there that had monkeys. And monkeys would often escape and, you know, take people's purses and things. So he had a great idea of say, hey, let's move the monkeys away from the park and let's stick them on Alcatraz, which is what now is called Monkey Island. So right now there's 3 spider monkeys.
Yeah, and you left when you were really young. You were like 8 or something.
Ralph is the male, Emily and Ebony are the females, and they're pretty much the inhabitants of the island.
Close enough.
So yes, we do have pontoon rental boats on property. We have kayaks, paddle boards, double kayaks.
Why is this music so good?
We also have golf cart rentals, which in Old Homosassa is a golf cart friendly community. So a lot of people you'll see driving around on golf carts, and then we'll also be adding some bike rentals here in the short term. Well, Old Homosassa, it's old, true Florida. Fishing is the main draw here. Again, Monkey Island is also a big draw, but it's just a good old Florida to get escape. It's a quiet, small town. Like I said, the fishing's really good, and then the main season is scallop season, which is open from July 1st to September 24th of this year, which had just recently closed. But scalloping and fishing is one of the big draws here in Homosassa. In the wintertime, it's a shift from scallop season. A lot of the manatees come in because when the Gulf is colder than 72 degrees, all the manatees go up to the springs, so there's a big tourist attraction for manatee swims in the wintertime. If you guys are looking for a great weekend place to get away, come see us at Florida Cracker Riverside Resort. You can book a hotel room, book a local fishing charter, you can rent a pontoon boat, golf carts, swim the pool. I think you really like Old Homosassa. There's a lot of things to do.
Man, I just want to play with the monkeys, but I guess that's not an
A lot
option.
to see, a lot to do. Now, we know a lot of you have drones out there, so if you have some great drone footage, hey, send it to us. Maybe we'll put it on air. You can reach out to us by emailing Fox13 Tampa News at fox.com. Monkey Island, Linda, what do you think?
I think it's cool.
Good to be a monkey, right?
Good.
And they're also going to be giving it a major overhaul next year. If you have yet to visit Monkey Island in Homosassa, now is probably the time to make a stop in Citrus County. The monkeys, Ralph, Emily, and Ebony, will be moving out while humans move in to upgrade their sandy home. The renovations are long overdue, locals said. The man-made Monkey Island started as a pile of rocks, yada, yada. Then the monkeys were added, but that was back in the 1960s. The lighthouse is still standing on the tiny island, was placed there before even the primates moved in. Some of the other barriers surrounding the island have damaged or partially sunk. New electrical wiring between the island and the mainland to a new playground area. Calling it a big project is an understatement, and said owner Blake Lohman. The Lohman family purchased the resort property, now called Florida Cracker Riverside Resort, which included Monkey Island. Probably the most complicated part is the extreme makeover of the electrical work and the barrier construction. Monkey residents will be provided air conditioning, which means the electrical conduits from the mainland into the island must be updated. These monkeys get fucking AC? What the shit? Marie Strait, one of the board members that is overseeing the project, said, "This is where the community stepped in to help. Construction could start as soon as the beginning of 2022 thanks to local support. Historic Monkey Island Incorporated, nonprofit created by the Lomans, planned a fundraiser in November, but tickets sold quickly. The entire project costs about $150,000. They're already halfway to their goal. So far from our sponsors, we've taken in less than a month, $75,000. That's half our goal. We'll make more of the banquet because we have live auction items and raffle prizes and so forth. We are expecting to make it another $25,000 to $35,000. But assistance from the local won't stop there. Board members also meet up with Lacucci River Electrical Cooperative, hoping that they will sign on. They did. The company will be providing the equipment, manpower, and knowledge. The only cost is the organization of the nonprofit will be the cost of the polls, which will be an estimate $200. We are very fortunate to be able to partner with. The whole island is rock-based, so the other hurdle is we have to get a huge auger, for lack of a better, drilled down to the rock, so we can put huge holes for them to. He said the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which is the federal regulations follow to maintain their monkey ownership, has been pushing for a new barrier around the island. That's a pretty big deal because of all the rocks. There's a couple of local dock companies here in Homosassa. He will help Loma. We're going to have to draw new pilings down on the river and basically use that to create a new barrier to block any unwarranted boats and visitors who try to get too close to the island. Another logistically important part is the monkey's home. That's going to be another big one trying to build out there on an island and bring everything in on a boat. Once it's all said and done, Loman said that the project. Once all said and done, Loman said all the hard work will be worth it. The hope is that there will be a solid foundation for future monkey generations and to keep a historical part of the community thriving for decades. I mean, it will definitely be worth it because the people love it, Loman said. They were more than happy to take on the project because it's good for everybody, the community, the visitors, all of Citrus County as a whole, and it's just a good thing. Board members previously met with Discover Crystal River, the tourism department that all of Citrus County and can offer special funding requests. In this case, after the initial After the initial $75,000 is spent on demolition, electrical poles, barriers, and so on, members sent a funding request to the Discover Crystal River to match what they spent. Which doesn't sound like much, but it is quite involved because they require a narrative about the project, detailed information. They want to know how tourism is going to benefit from our project, how will we work with the tourism industry, Strait explained. I mean, there's a checklist of things we have to comply with. If we make the application, and then they will match us upon approval. The $75,000 will $1,500, $150,000, and we. As for the spider monkeys, they'll be moved to Boyd's Grove, a Spring Hill Zoo. And the original lighthouse will be getting some TLC straight. No questions. He said they hopefully completely update Monkey Island by the end of 2022. If you're interested in making a donation, and the organization accepts those all year. The funding goes to the maintenance, monkey food, more. To learn more, head over to the Historic Monkey Island website. That in the chat. Donate. Help the monkeys. They are good boys and girls. I think I actually will go ahead and just donate money. God damn it, this is another one from last week! Ah! Christ, and we're almost out of stories. This has been a pretty bad week so far. Snowbird DUI suspect uses underwire bra to escape from jail. What? Snowbird attempted to use her underwire bra to try to escape from jail after arrest on a drunk driving charge. Susan May Shepard, 59, who was staying at... Hey, why? Why do articles insist on doxing? Was driving a red Lincoln SUV. He was involved in an accident around 7 p.m. Saturday at the Walgreens on County Road 466, across from Southern Terrace Plaza in the Villages, according to an arrest report from Sumter Sheriff's Office. It appeared that Shepard, a native of Keene, New Hampshire, was driving on a Massachusetts license, had been drinking. She initially agreed to participate in a field sobriety exercise, but continued once she had trouble performing the exercises. Her breath samples measured at 0 blood alcohol content. She consented to a urine sample. She was transported to the Sumter County Detention Center, where she was booked and charged with driving under. Shepard was placed in a holding cell, but a jailer discovered that she had removed all the metal wiring from her bra, used it to make numerous scrape marks on the glass at the bottom of the holding cell door. She attempted to crawl out of a small opening in the door, feet first. The arrest report said she had to be told to pull her legs back into her cell. In addition to the DUI charge, she is now facing a felony charge of attempted escape and a misdemeanor charge of criminal mischief with damage to property. She was released after posting $11,500 in bonds. Dumbass. There's felony escape attempt. She was underwire to snuff a few cards out like a job. How is this escape attempt a felony? No birds are not Floridian. Damn Yanks. Wish they would stay home where they belong. Yeah, basically. Ugh, why am I so sleepy? Snowbirds? Fuck. Oh, she's from New Hampshire. Thank God she's not Canadian. Well, hey, this is a repeat of that one story earlier where the woman was kind of dressed like the condo. At least now we actually have a fucking picture of her and the building. I don't know why the last article didn't have that shit. But here we are. Actually, this is the article that they were citing, so... Huh. Oh well. So she's flat as a boarder, stacked like a brick house. I want to be part of her HOA. Park your truck in her driveway. Oh, look. Another repeated story. Fun. Christ, we're already almost at the end. Man, this week was fucking terrible. Florida activists say cop warned her not to wear This is a third story from the same goddamn story. Third time it's appeared. Why? Blah, blah, blah. We're just going to see if anything new's popped up. I know we have one story left. Got this. St. Pete Trump supporter still refuses to pay on election bet, could now face jail time. Sean Hines had until October 9th to pay up, and now he could be held in contempt. A St. Petersburg man who bet a former friend $100 that then President Donald Trump would defeat now President Joe Biden could be facing jail time after a judge ordered him to pay up. According to the Pinellas County court record, Sean Hines, that is Sam Hines, St. Pete resident, and Jeffrey Costa, who lives in Georgia, made an election day wager. Hines said Trump would win. Costa put his money on Biden. But after Biden was declared the winner, Hines refused to pay, believing the results would be overturned. When Hines continued to refuse payment, Costa took him to court. Costa asked for the initial $100 plus $250 in court costs and $300 in interest. Okay, yeah. No, Costa, you had my sympathies. Now you're just being a greedy asshole. Like, I could get suing for the $100. I could also get suing for the court fees. The $300 in interest is just coming right out of your ass, though, you fucking dick. In March, a court order settled the matter and reduced the court costs and waived interest. So now he's just owing probably around $200. Yeah, it ordered Hines to pay costs $207.50 by October 9th. Nearly 8 months later, Hines still refuses to pay. September order from the court gave Hines until November 1st to show cause why he should not be held and punished for contempt of court for his willful failures. Complete the fact information for his willful failures to complete the fact information sheet and return the same to the plaintiffs. Such punishment could include fine or incarceration. Hines responded on the first by asking the judge to toss the case on the grounds that the wager was illegal in Costa's home state of Georgia. It took him that long. He requested continuance if the case wasn't dismissed. He also said that he's just not going to pay. Pardon the drama, but I believe this case has gone far enough, wasted enough resources, and be put to rest, as we all value more important things in life. Hines wrote in court. While I may be quote-unquote liable, the approach has been immoral and is not about the money. The plaintiff does not need it. It's about ego. I know you don't rule on ego, but I hope you won't. I would hope you would dismiss this case on the grounds that the plaintiff entered an illegal contract. In his letter, Hines said that he would be willing to do community service instead of serving jail time. That is now up to the judge. This is not the first time a Trump supporter has attempted to dictate their own sentence. Earlier this week, Texas realtor Jennifer Lynn Ryan was in prison for data. Well, at least we're going to end on a fake cop story. Always fun. St. Cloud man accused of impersonating an officer while speeding through traffic. Orlando, Florida, as a St. Cloud man was arrested on Friday after speeding through traffic while fraudulently posing as a law enforcement. According to Florida Highway Patrol, a trooper spotted 60-year-old Hector Bonnet driving northbound on State Road 417 Friday morning, going more than 15 miles per hour of the posted speed limit. According to Bonnet's arrest report, the trooper noticed the other vehicle on the road were avoiding Bonnet's car as though he was an emergency vehicle. It was at that point the trooper noticed the flashing red and blue lights on Bonnet's car. How was that not the first thing you noticed? The group noted that there were no Florida Highway Patrol units responding to emergencies in the area and initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle. The trooper described Bonnet's car as a black Dodge Challenger, similar to law enforcement. Hey, smart. At least he was using a similar model of car. The trooper noted Bonnet was wearing full uniform, including tack boots, a vest, and a duty belt, equipped with a handgun, pepper spray, an extendable baton, and handcuffs. According to the report, Bonnet was also wearing a gold star badge, similar to those sheriff's deputies. Trooper noted Bonnet's appearance was so convincing that they even made to move over by Bonnet while driving a fully marked highway patrol vehicle. When asked why his lights were flashing, why he was flashing red and blue lights to the driver's Bonnet denied doing so and was told the trooper he was simply heading to work at a jewelry store. What? Bonnet was also was arrested and charged with falsely impersonating an officer. I would also throw speeding onto that, but that's just me. He's currently being held in Orange County Jail on a $1,000 bond. He should have said it's for a movie. If only this happened really close to Halloween. I mean, yeah, actually. Or that he's a stripper. Dimwit has some... Arkle said he's wearing tack boots other than a $100 markup for tactical. What makes a boot tactical? Actually, yeah. Cameron, are you here? You're my military expert. What the fuck makes a boot tactical? Do they just mean he was wearing, like, army boots or some shit? Because I feel like that just means he was wearing army boots. Military, it means manufacturers uniform. Okay. I've seen boots that specifically designed not to leave tracks in the dirt. I figured those would be counted as tactical. How does that work? Your weight displaces the soil. I've seen marketing on everything from boots to sunglasses used tactical and seems like a gimmick. Levitation boots. Jesus had a pair. Hey, Bubs, you're coming in at the end today, unfortunately. It's going to be running real short because about half the articles for this week were reposts. Just a bullshit phrase, mate. Make the boots sound cooler and more. Yeah. Obviously responding to a fashion emergency. Who the fuck is Jeremy DeWitt? That name sounds familiar. Oh, that guy. Yeah, I remember this guy. God damn it. Fuck that. Unfortunately, it would appear that that is actually the last story of the week because half the goddamn stories were just reposting. So, what have we learned? We learned that the police look after their own. We learned to always pay back the fucking money you owe people. This doesn't count because it's a repost from last week, and I'm not reading that one again. We learned, we learned that being a whiny asshole in court apparently does pay. We learned not to jump off, that if you're going to jump off a bridge to escape law enforcement, make sure to do a flip on the way down. We learned that being Solid Snake is a lot harder than just hiding under some trash bags. We learned that if you're going to try to rob a fucking grocery store, don't do it on a rascal scooter. We learned if you're going to be awarded a Teacher of the Year award, don't beat the fucking kids in your class. At least aim for a different class. We learned that crime doesn't pay, but TikTok certainly does. We learned that being a police impersonator does not work out. We learned that the Kubrick scare is actually a real thing that people do when they start fires and get arrested for it. Yeah, this was kind of a bum week, all told. So... Alright. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to end the stream here. But we're just, since it was so short, we're going to finish Half-Life today as well. Just give me like 5 minutes. I got to go hit the John. I will be back. Don't worry. Thankfully, this one's pretty easy to edit on my end, so you know what? I'll be back in 10 minutes at the top of the hour.